that was it.
I don't even know what I had for breakfast yesterday. We're talking April, and we are underway on YouTube. Consistency to continue to put together quality for Houston. Those that are tuning into a Rangers game for the first time this year, what changed for Semien?
Well, he didn't do that damage in Oakland when he was there. It was a little bit of a slower start in that regard and getting to the heater. And if you've ever been around Marcus Semien, you know he's seasoned pretty quickly.
2-2. No. It's full. 45 home runs for Semien last year. Third place in AL MVP. A day later by Corey Seager, 300+ million to join him. That one gets away too, so a leadoff walk. Seager right side, and this is going to go to second for the force.
Second dig throws out means you know you don't have to be perfect. You can take some chances because they'll bail you out. Inside Edge does a great job of tracking those numbers.
Numbers on the infield. Erase a few errors. Now Adolis Garcia. Last year,
ball in the softer breaking pitches, but he has seen a lot of fastballs in off the plate. That's where teams have attacked him this season after that big year that he had a year ago.
What about patience?
And a lot of times it's the right-handers using that slider off the plate where some of the discipline will lack.
Popped up. Here comes Kyle Tucker, called off by Jose. St. Louis Cardinals and how their defense transformed. Here's Jonah Heim, first pitch, pulls it to Bregman. Sure hands over there at the high.
Guys, between trying to continue to do things where you've been successful and not get complacent. And he talked about the word ossify. I thought that was a good one.
Better in an area in which you're already good. This bullpen has the lowest ERA in baseball, and they went and tried to improve that bullpen, right, by bringing in bullpen right now. But you like to have one. Of course, you stay away from guys that maybe don't give you the good splits.
Aggressive Rangers offense here in the second. Late hop away from him, still barehanded it to make the out in the middle of yesterday's game. Now Charlie Culberson, you'll load up some right-handers against. So if you look at Houston's success, last year, of course, in the World Series, same story. This year, tied with the Yankees for the best record in baseball. It's 71-41, and this is one reason why. 3 today.
Good, man. Just watching the game and talking with the guy here in the dugout about, trying to win this game.
And, of course, if you're with us on a weekly basis, we'll relay some of them to Martine. Always an enjoyable interview. So tell us, what's been your that you'll remember more than anything else?
I'm going to remember the complete game that I throw here in this field. I made sure everything is good with the problem that I have. So hopefully he gave me a good news, and I told you that it's going to be a good day for us, and here is the balls, and I think that is one of the days that I'm never going to forget.
Safe at first is
game. We only see about one shutout against the Astros a year. I mean, that was no easy task. You took on the biggest challenge you can
possible. I think like 4 or 5 minutes ago, I was talking with the guy, and I told him, hey, when you control your pitches and you throw anything that you, when I was in that game, I just trying to hit my spot and get out of the inning quick.
When it comes to hitting location,
yeah, I think I was at home in Venezuela, and we have the luck in the process, and you learn a lot. So just prepare yourself.
Duran and Thompson, a lot of success from both lineups towards the bottom of each side. We saw Maldonado with the home.
A lot, and I don't really watch Randy Johnson. He was too big. He threw too hard, and I don't have that.
Whatever. What does he think of the opposite pitcher, Framber, and the All-Star season that he is having? And did you get to spend any time with him at
phone and everything? And he got amazing talent, man. I mean, I like the way that he throws. He
the left-hander with an incredible changeup. You have a pretty good changeup yourself. And you mentioned watching him. Was that something that you kind of stuck?
And the way that he compete, that's what I got, and that's what I'm trying to do. So he never, not every time he missed in the strike zone. So you're just trying to talking about Your change is kind of like my change. You don't need another one. You're really good, so you'll be fine. And
Oh, hello. Told you we keep it real on YouTube.
That's a big call.
I'm gonna watch in the iPad.
Touched by you putting 4 Uvalde on your hat to recognize the shooting victims during your starts. Is that something that you intend to do?
I to write a name on my hat and trying to have a good game and dedicate that game to those kids. Something. And I mean, there's too many things with the guns and how the people use it and how they can go to the store and buy a gun.
Every time you go out there for a start. 2 on still and 2 outs now after Valdez picks up.
And I like Boston Stadium. That is a good stadium too. So have a lot of history
There that you kind of like mentoring the younger players and especially the younger pitchers. And you get a lefty in Cole Reagans. A lot of their younger pitchers have been
bring to him a lot of energy and a lot of positive comments.
His battery mate, Dawg&Hen, licking his chops right now with 2 outs here against Valdez. Takes the first pitch low. Bases loaded here for Texas and a chance.
And Corey Seager striking out in back-to-back at-bats. And of course, you can argue whether or not Simeon actually struck out. And that pitch is above the strike zone. Nope, and I think it speaks to the maturity of a young player that understands that.
Heim gives it a ride right central, and Myers will line it up. Yeah, and so maybe he didn't get the call on the hit by pitch, but definitely got the call on the strike. Now going up against Lowe, Tavares, and Culberson in the 4th. Lowe bounced out in the 2nd. Offenses to lift the baseball. There it is again. Gurriel for a moment thought it would be.
Mentioned a couple of times where he's been a little bit slow getting over to first base.
And now Tavares. Well, also Valdez should be used to it because 2/3 of the time that Valdez is not an elite fielder. Oh, that's right to Gurriel. Think fast. Bregman's great. So is Pena. He has Gold Glove potential. And then on the right side, you have 2 Gold Glovers in Altuve and Gurriel. Left side. And Pena, strong throw. This game with our Curious Creators segment. Stay tuned. Framber Valdez working through the 5th inning now against Tech. Few comments too in the live chat. I'll give you in a moment. After this pitch to Duran, that's the curveball in there for strike 1. So $500 million on your middle infield, not making the playoffs. Extreme underachievement. You spend money to win. That one's queued up for Bregman to throw out Duran.
It's going to take a little while. And it's starting to happen now. And now Jack Leiter last year as your first pick, Kumar Rocker and Brock Porter prospects in the draft. So they are flooded right now with pitching prospects, and they're working through it and figuring out exactly where that runs very deep in pitching that they'll use to make this roster competitive pretty quickly. And even, you see the kind of spending that you saw last year, but Brock Porter to me is maybe the most fascinating of the group, because I think the rest of baseball thought he was headed to Clemson.
That's a really
and an AAV number to continue to improve this team. And they'll be back at it again this offseason. There's some pretty decent pitchers that are out there
this year, but this is solid progress, especially when you look up and there's Simeon putting one in the air for Diaz to call off Myers. He does better than anyone over the past few seasons. It's only at 65 pitches too. I don't know, CJ. He's capable of the rare CG. I would say more on the aggressive side, especially someone like Seager who takes ball 2.
Dusty Baker, old school, likes to see his guys get deeper in the game.
Incomplete games this year. Pitch number 70, fouled back. Ball. His best strikeout pitch. Right side for Altuve into the shift. Adolis Garcia fouling that one off. And shipping it to center. Myers, warning track there.
In Valdez.
Hitless Dawg&Hen takes a strike.
And pressure on Valdez, and he got out of it.
And he's one pitch away from another. He's retired 9 in a row. 0-2.
Time was supposed to be the backup. The injury to the elbow and eventually surgery for Garver, and Dawg&Hen is taking full advantage.
Yeah.
It happens, right? You realize you have a shot, and an infield hit, you're going to turn it on a little bit.
Nice pitch to start the AB from Framber Valdez this afternoon, and working in the 7th.
So we talk a lot about the top 2 pitches. His fastball, 364. They have touched the fastball in a pretty big way. Left-handers against a really nasty 2-seamer that sits in the mid. How good it has been against those lefties.
There's another sinker in low. Knows how to handle a non-fastball. And he got him. Another sinker. Obviously, you're not trying to take that pitch. And first one coming in, going through for Semien, or make that Taveras with a 1-out single.
Just Dr. Andy Nunez, before the All-Star game, he sent him a very simple note. It said, if you have peace, you'll have balance. If you have balance, you'll have control.
Guy that is pretty consistent mentally and where he is, and having that balance and control and being able to do a lot of different things. Command to the fastball, the really good breaking ball. He has been locked in, and he's been locked in for a long time. Have really turned the idea of when you can sign Latin American pitchers.
Overseen has a knock, and first to third flying is Taveras, and in there.
The risk starts to go up, and I was fascinated by that. I'm like, 17? When I was 17, the Astros have done an excellent job of just completely kind of throwing that out the window. And I'll be honest with you, I never really understood it, but it was pretty.
It's like that. I mean, not even close.
No,
they are thriving in their rotation because of it.
Think about the cost there, right? Tim, you never took in that bat with the Dodgers.
Those are shiny numbers we just showed you too. The back-to-back hits for Texas, and that's ball 2 to. Duran stays alive.
With that pitch count climbing up.
Of course, Framber playing to his strengths. On a day like today, because of what he's done. Ball 3.
Oh, it still
this could
matters.
Be his last inning now.
And that'll be a strategy for teams against the Houston Astros. The back end of the bullpen is pretty good. If you're trying to.
Duran is 1 for 2 today. 3-2. Got him. On the curve, got to find the baseball. Nope. Doesn't matter. Runner up.
Speed, if you look at, there's different ways to look at the sprint speed. I look at that, what they call kind of that P90, right? Your top 10% that's signed with the Texas Rangers, and there's some special athletic ability there.
It's 2-1. It's a matchup you like, though, if you're Chris Woodward. Better against lefties down in the minors. It's 359. Count leverage. And now it's full.
And probably not a pitch you saw very often. Every time out. He's never seen a lefty like this.
Got him. Two stranded ball.